I'm checking in this moment my slides. I hope you are seeing it well.
Yes.
Perfect. So ASM Progress App, as I say, wants to promote the transparency in the supply chain with the ASM miners, and also want to facilitate the engagement with the sector to be part of their chains in their environmental, in their social, and their organizational practice. I remember you that please, if you have questions while I doing the presentation in this webinar, don't hesitate to do it in the chat box, and we will cover those questions at the end of the session. First and all, I want to briefly present who we are. So maybe some of you don't know who we are. We are the NGO, the Alliance for Responsible Mining. We facilitate with our allies the empowerment of the artisanal and small-scale miners, their organizational and the adoption of good practices, promoting favorable environments for the inclusion of this sector in formal economies. And we also work to transform the ASM sector into a socially and environmentally responsible activity, while improving the quality of life of the miners, their families, and communities. In the last 18 years, Anne has worked in over 25 countries in Latin America, Africa, and Asia, and we have support 150 ASN mining organizations and their communities in their path toward responsible mining. This represents over 44,000 participants. On the other hand, it's important to give a context of the sector. It is estimated at almost 50 million of people in over 120 countries worldwide are dedicated to ASM. For gold, the estimate is around 20 million. This is a lot of employment that provides livelihoods for entire communities in places where sometimes there are no other economic activities. Now that we know that the sector has a huge potential and is a big sector as well, many of you are also aware of some challenges that the sector faces. So we know that mining, or maybe you have heard that mining is a hard and dangerous work that is done under precarious conditions, that sometimes there are accidents, health problems, mercury pollution, environmental degradation, sometimes there are presence of child labor. The sector and the miners face challenges to access, for instance, for clean technologies, is highly stigmatized, they have difficulties to formalize, and on the other hand, the supply chain actors that want to engage with this sector face other challenges, like how to collect, how to approach the miner, how to access to reliable data, to build trustworthy relationships with the miners. Despite this situation, we and many buyers, allies, organizations, governments know that this sector has an incredible potential to contribute to local and to national development. An ASM Progress App wants to be part of this transformation, to help to develop these opportunities. And the miners are able to safeguard the human rights of the miners and their workers. They can protect the environment, and we want to be part of that. ASM Progress App is the digitalization of assessment and the sustainability plans of the mining organizations. It supports data transparency and compliance with the OECD due diligence criteria, and facilitate reporting of risk management and ESG, environmental, social governance, performance data of the miners. As I say, ASM Progress App is a channel to promote the development of the sector and also to facilitate their transformation into a socially and environmental responsible sector. But what is ASM Progress App in more details? It's a new online tool or data platform facilitated by the Alliance for Responsible Mining, and we see as an innovative and a new unique tool that has two purposes. First one, allowing actors and partners in the mineral supply chain to access to reliable, traceable, and transparent information of the ASM organizations or groups. And second, facilitate assessment and monitoring of the ASM sustainability route using specialized frameworks such as the Craft Code, the Fair Mining Standard, and the Forest Smart Mining Standard. And while we are doing all of this, we want to also create a responsible ASM community of practitioners that can access to this tool, and that we are not the only ones who are using it, and we also expand the positive change for the sector. With the assessments that are possible to register in the app, for instance, we have created impact reports to show the current status of the organization in different sustainability indicators and defining the pathway for improvement of the practices to promote formalization and good practices. For instance, when the assessments are done in the mining organizations, we build in a participatory manner with the miners an improvement plan or a sustainability plan. What we do is that when these plans are complete, we do a connection of the contribution with the SDG, with the change and with the improvements that the mine have adopted. This might be interesting for some of the participants that are here. What are the features that the app has? So ASM Progress App provides a clear, friendly, and standardized interface and framework to collect, process, and analyze data from the artisanal and small-scale mining sector. It is connected to data stake platform. That gives another kind of benefit that I will show you in a moment. The app offers an experience to the users in 3 languages, English, Spanish, and French, to view, create profiles, assessment dashboards, and sustainability plans of each artisanal and small-scale mining organization. And it also gives the possibility to add the characteristics of the context of the location or territories where are located the miners. With the art intervention and support in the field to the miners, we have collect and analyze the data of different mining sites that you will see in a couple of moments in different countries and different kind of realities: Colombia, Peru, Guyana, Suriname, Burkina Faso, DRC. What are the benefits of ASM Progress App? What we see is that supporting and engaging with the ASM sector through sourcing or financing impact projects and using the app bring a unique opportunity to make a real change in the sustainability practice of the companies. If we have here companies that have a connection with the sector or are willing to have a connection with the sector. These benefits are in terms of contributing of local development of mining communities, promoting the best mining practices, decent job, protecting the consistent services, biodiversity, adopting climate change mitigation strategies, and likewise, the companies are doing a contribution to the transparency, data collection, standardization, and collaboration in the mineral supply chain. Our ambition and our hope and our also goal is bring the use of the app to more companies and allies around the world to make connections, transform the miners' lives, protect human rights, and preserve the environment around mining communities. Now, let's move to a live tour through the ASM Progress App amazing features. Here you can access with an email and a password. It has a protocol of authorization because we are protecting also the data of the miners. However, we can define different rules if other partners, for instance, want to use the application. So I will enter with my user, my email address, and my password. And you will have the possibility to see ASM Progress App. The two main features that has at the moment, this is an administrative role that I have at the moment, but it gives you a possibility to the assistants of this webinar to see the full function of ASM Progress App. So we have two modules. Here is the territories module and the ASM modules. Now, I will show you in more detail what is each of these modules. Now let's go to one organization profile that is called, one of the mine that is called Abel. It's located in Madre de Dios, Peru. I want to clarify that we assess and are also accompany this mining organization, and we use the full frameworks, craft, fair mine, and forest smart mining. So you will see all the results using the three frameworks with this organization. You can see the outstanding dashboard with key data and graphs and the data profile and characteristics of this mining site. The other mining organizations have the same feature. So you have here picture, key information, basic data context. Some of the basic information is type of organization, type of mining, type description, number of pit heads, processing plants, production. Here you can see the outstanding dashboard with the key data and the data profile, I say. Once the information of each mining organization is consolidated from their organizational characteristics, as you can see here in this part, and you can also see some of the pictures that we have been uploading of this mining organization, you can also see 11 categories regarding their performance in sustainability. This graph allows you to have like an active interaction with the scoring achieved of this mining organization in each category. And you can see that it shows satisfactory, medium, low compliant, not applicable, and answer questions. So for this case, this mining organization, according to the 13 questions that we asked, and we check the data when we visit the mining site, 7 questions are satisfactory. In addition, so after seeing this, sustainability, legitimacy, environmental, mercury, social, organizational, traceability, health and safety, working conditions, gender, and commercialization. So all of these categories have the same structure. In addition, the graphs, you can see a graph of compliance per percentage with the status of the chapter of the craft code that is for due diligence of social market entry standard. And you can here check. So for, let's say, the first chapter that is about internal management system, this mining site, according to the questions, is fulfilling 44%. And then you can see legitimacy, OECD risks that are the priority, OECD priority risks, and other risks, high risks that are in the craft code. Additionally, for this particular site, in some cases, you can only assess the craft code, but in this case, we assess all the frameworks. You can also see the fair mine analysis, so checking the application, traceability, substance management, environmental, mine safety, social protection, and so on, all these categories, and the compliance in Israel. For this particular mining organization, that is located in Madre de Dios, we use a specialized module of environmental aspects related to the forest protection. So what we do is including the forest smart mining standard, and also we assess the mining organization against this and its 5 chapters as well. So for this case, for example, has an 80% of compliance in these direct mining aspects. That is, you want to see or make like a zoom of these details. So what does it mean, direct impact details? So here's planning and preparation of the site, forest and vegetation clearance, technical rehabilitation, topsoil management, biological rehabilitation, and site closure and handover. So you want to see, so this is like a zoom of this question, and show you in these subchapters what is the performance of the organization. So you may wonder, how is the methodology and data collected behind this app or behind this dashboard? In the left panel, as you can see, the user can see the detailed information on the context. So we can click here on the context of the organization, the location. You can point out in a map where is the mining or indicate the coordinates, some context where is the territory, the number of inhabitants of this municipality, what other economic activities are there, and other features. You can have a full list of pictures and download those pictures, right? If you add information at the particular source, and then you have all details here. For instance, we also managed to collect some kind of particular data regarding the legal aspects, the technical, the processing. So here you can also click on and verify what is the name of the representative, identification of the organization, partners, workers, legal aspects, type exploitation system, commercialization aspect, mineral processing system, and so on. That is like in terms of basic information, and not your counterpart detail as well. Now I want to show you the standardized and simple methodology for collecting the performance of the graph that I show you in the dashboard. To carry out the evaluation of the mining organization, one or more of the menus option here you don't see, but when you are uploading the data, you can choose between craft fair mine or forest smart mining. You can choose all of them or only one. And then it opens these categories according to which questions are related with the standard. For each question, let's enter, let's say, to the environment. For each question, what you have a list. I click here, edit. I will show you how does it look if you are uploading information. So each question has a partial qualification between satisfactory, medium, low, not compliant, and not applicable. It shows you what category belongs, have a space for observations, and documentation. In this case, my colleagues, the sustainability team, add the, let's say, maybe this is about the environmental permit. So this is that permit they attach. So you can download or view. And in this case, as I have an administrative mode, I can modify, but let's say if you only have a view access, you will then have the possibility to modify. And then you have, for instance, for environment, all the questions, and you can see the partial qualification, categories, mode, and aspect of each of the questions. So in that way, you can trace the information generated in the graph, in the sustainability leads, indicators, and all the questions that are behind. So it's kind of like the methodology that is behind the dashboard. Now I want to move from Peru to Colombia. So let's come back to Colombia. Here you see the mine that we have been registering so far. And let's go, use the mines. And let's take this one. It's called Mina La Gabriela. This mine site is located in Colombia. And what I came back to this mining site, this mining organization, because here has the, as I just click here, you see that we made two kind of assessments, one in 2021 and one in 2022, with the possibility to compare between years, and also to also have to also show you the report functions. So one of those is a report of the key results of the dashboard. So, and you click on here, download PDF, and it will show you something like this. Download the key, what you see in the dashboard has the function to download it. In that way you can attach to your sustainability report, for instance, or you can download it and share it with the miners. You have also the possibility to download the Excel. What does it mean? The Excel is the full report with all the questions, with all the observation, and with all the parcel qualification. Maybe for more details, maybe for the local NGO that is supporting the application, or the consultant, you need all the details as well. So we have those kind of features. As I say, a valuable element for decision making and knowledge of ASN is the functionality to compare evaluation of mines and their indicators over time, and they can be visible in a dashboard. We are in that process that it can be seen in one single dashboard. At the moment, I will show you like more manually. So you have here, for example, craft analysis, fair mine analysis. So how mine, the shape of these graphs. For instance, in legitimacy in 2021, this mining organization has 88% and 93% in environment. If we click on 2022, when we assess again the mining organization, we can see a progress 97 and 100. So it's a difference, and also their progress in the craft code and in the fair mine. There are some changes in the shape of the graph. Now I want to make an additional connection or feature of the application, that is the territories. So I want to connect the last mining site that I show you, mining organization I show you, that is La Gabriela, with its territory. So we go to, they are located in a municipality called Tarasa in Colombia. This module, as you can see, it is a characterization and risk analysis module of the mining organization territory. So this is the municipality of Tarasa, and these two dots are two mining organizations that are located in this particular municipality. There are extra features such as the map, as I say, the general context, you have possibility to see, to also gather indicators about the demography, economy, development, political context of that place. There are other questions about human rights and security conditions, human rights, conflict, high risk area questions, and environmental impact. So use of mercury, use of water, protected areas, and deforestation. So, and it give the, after completing also this kind of question, when you need to also have like an overview what is happening in that particular territory where it's located, the mining organization. The app show you a dashboard. It highlights some indicators, and it also shows some strengths of that place with green indicators and some points that require more attention in terms of risks that need more monitoring, and they show you in red. And those ones that require more attention and to be monitored constantly of the condition of that territory are in the below part. Okay, so I see there are maybe some questions. So we want to share a quick survey at the moment with you, very quick, before I finish the presentation. So Diana, can you go ahead with the quick survey so far? So what we're doing is to present you 3 quick questions to know what are your reactions so far with the application that we are just showing you. So please answer those questions in the moment that you are seeing in the screen. That also helps us to understand if you are seeing how are you seeing the app and their features. Okay, thank you for your participation in this quick survey. I will continue. There is also one like interesting feature that ASM Progress App, and is the connection with a data stake. So ASM Progress App is connected with the data stake platform through the data wallet. What does it mean? It means that the ASM that are in that ASM Progress App, as being in data stake, has the ability to connect with more data, more users to this ecosystem. It's important to highlight that as being part of this like broader collaborative system, we are not competing with any existing system. What we want is with ASM Progress App connecting with data stake, help us to connect with other applications that are developed by the companies or other NGOs, for instance, and that we are able to enrich them all, and also with the data that is created in ASM Progress App. So to be more specific, it means that the assessments that are created and conducted by R or other allies can be queried by or requested by global gold buyers or mineral buyers, exporters, and traders as part of their enhanced due diligence, or international donors that are seeking to document the impact of their intervention. It also means that ASM Progress App in data stake, the information of the app can be enriched with insights from users of other data stake applications, such as mining cooperatives, civil society organizations. So in that way, it helps to consolidate information and triangulation findings with other sources. So that is the last feature that has the application. To finalize my presentation, maybe I can come back to one of the mining sites. I want to say that these first steps with the ASM Progress App has been possible thanks to the projects such as promoting human rights in artisanal and small scale mining, Produme in Burkina Faso, and also Sanukura in Burkina Faso. Additionally, this first step of digitalization and also taking the data of the ASM in a way that is more approachable and easy to understand from different stakeholders. We are one of the 13 finalists of the Conservation is Life Challenge to protect the Amazon. And what we want to do is with the legitimate, with the committed ASM that want to be part of this transformation and are also willing to protect the Amazon, we want to take it to a further step, can be said, and we want to reach all countries that are part of the Amazon, and that also facilitate the empowerment of the artisanal and small scale minings, and they become also active forces protecting the Amazon rainforest. And in short, as you see, for instance, here, I come back again to the app with one of the mines. This is another mine also located in Peru. ASM Progress App, what it is an innovative digital tool. It has a framework to assess and evaluate the ASM practices, promote transparency, locally led risk management, to also create ASM capacity building and ASA ESG performance evaluation. Additionally, as we see, it supports the assurance by mainstream actors, and also warranted tangible impact measurement for downstream partners. My colleagues will share in this moment a survey. It's where we want to also understand your reflections, your comments. So maybe it's easier for you to interact with the survey, or also share your insights or your comments in the chat. And this is very, very necessary for us to shape ASM Progress App for further development, and that we are really tackling the needs of the supply chain actors and also the partners or the ASM community that is also supporting the sector, and that we are also asking, for instance, the questions that are relevant for compliance and for sustainability reporting. So we will share you. My colleague will share it in the chat, but you can also see here the survey I'm talking about. Give me one moment. Here you have a QR code that will also help you to connect with the survey that I am talking about. And my colleague is also sharing the link in the chat. Diana, can you share us the link to the survey, please?
Yes, just a second.
In the chat, and we're gonna give you like some moment for asking questions, but just to my final part of the presentation, you already have the possibility to interact with the survey. So I want to conclude the session and this webinar to saying that the user with the ASM Progress App has a unique opportunity to, first and all, view the compliance and the progress of the mining organizations under the following indicator that the indicator that you saw about sustainability, so about legitimacy, environment, mercury, traceability, health and safety, employment condition, gender. As you also saw, the application gives the possibility to save and to download evidence that is important in terms of compliance, of due diligence, audit purposes. So there are photo documentation, you saw the feature. For each of the questions, you can download reports and have it in different times of the evolution of the mining organization. We also expect that once more stakeholders join to support the ASM and get the information using the ASM Progress App, will enable access to knowledge and verify compliance information at ASM mines, both locally and globally, thanks to the data state infrastructure. And the app, we also want to say, is part of the ARM knowledge services to support the artisanal and small scale mining sector and the other and the ASM community, as I say. It may also help the local partners and the buyers with these knowledge services that we have. That is also the online training platform, the methodologies, the chain that we can offer also as part of the ASM Progress App. We invite buyers, partners to support the ASM and have the possibility to access to the app. This is the end of my presentation. We are happy to hear your reaction, comments, suggestions. And as I say, you feel more comfortable sharing your comments in the survey, please do it. For that, it's very, very important because we focus so much in the work with the miners, but we want to hear what are other needs you perceive and you have as a trader or as an NGO or as a consultant with the ASM sector, and how innovative tools such as the ASM Progress App may help with these needs. There are some questions in the chat. We will share later the slide just to confirm you. The video we will share in YouTube channel. And I see two questions in the QI. It is just a tool for data collector. Can miners themselves add data to the system as they perceive they are making progress? Initially, the ASM Progress App is created with someone that has also, let's say, some knowledge to assess the miner's performance. Initially, is designed like that, in the way that it's give like you are not doing a self-assessment, it's like a third-party assessment of the mining behavior or performance. But our ambition in the development of the app is to be able that miners can do a self-assessment, and that is also a part of the evaluation that they do, and also upload progress over time. And what that person mentioned is, as we see as the sustainability of the app, that maybe R and other local NGOs are on the ground, so support the miners, but we also transfer the knowledge, these capacities to the miners, and they can continue doing over time, for instance, in the interaction with their buyers. But at the moment, it's not developed for that, but that is where we are looking for to include that feature, and something that we hope to add is later, when we have possibilities of funding or projects or interest of different partners, to become also a mobile solution that may facilitate the miners to upload their data and their progress. But what you add, the person that include that question in the chat, is very variable, and we expect to reach what you are proposing. The second question I saw is about the links. Is the app available in Android? Unfortunately, as I say, we haven't reached that point about mobile solution. It is a web-based solution at the moment. So we hope, and why not, to reach the possibility, as the participants say, that become downloadable in the stores of the cell phones or the smartphones. Can we have a guide to develop for our ESG framework? Actually, the ASM Progress App is also it's like a fruit of all the 18 years of experience of R, developing different kind of methodologies, how to translate the question of the standard into understandable questions for the miner. So actually, ASM Progress App is a framework of ESG sustainability for the sector. So I will close the presentation here. I don't know if there are other outstanding questions in the chat and in the QI. I don't see more. For some of you who have not fill in the questionnaire, the survey, we insist that help us with your comments. You may only take like 5 minutes or 6 minutes. It's quite short, but it will help us to also shape our work. And that, as I say, this application is developed considering the needs of the supply chain actors, also the needs of the miner, and also other partners at Rally that are working with the sector. So with this, I conclude this webinar. I don't see more further questions. From into your system, can we import data from your system into ours? I see another question about the external sources into your system. Maybe before I finish, I also answered that question. Also, my colleague already answered it. Yeah, we're committed with the privacy and the data protection of the miner, because basically what we have in ASM Progress App is like the CV, and it reveals how the miners are, how they are in different aspects in their labor, formal, legal. So we protect that. But if there are like agreements that the miner authorized to share the data with potential buyers or with other NGOs, it is possible to connect with other system of buyers or connecting the system with other NGO. That's why I emphasize the value that it has to be in data state, because facilitate this kind of collaboration. So if the person would like to know more about these possibilities of collaboration between systems, we're happily to have a separate call with this person. And if you have any further questions, you can contact also. You want, I share again our email. And thank you so much for being in this session. Diana, do you have any other question that maybe I skip?
Yes, Nati, there is a last one. I don't know if you see.
Maybe I didn't.
Are these standards monitored and acknowledged or certified by the craft? I think you can answer that.
Let me see the last one. Yes, it's the last question. I'm trying also to copy in the chat our email address, if maybe there are questions that we didn't answer and people have the possibility to connect later. So are these standard monitored and acknowledged or certified by the craft? As I said, ASM Progress App has all these standards in a way, in a methodology that facilitate the data collection and verify that the miners are complying with these standards, such as craft, such as Permine, such as Forest Smart Mining. What we do is, as our sustainability expert team go to the mining site, they verify these questions. Sometimes we also, there are other partners on the ground that verify the questions, so they become like the one that verify the compliance. That's why it's connected with the question that if the miners can report their progress, yeah, that would be like another level of with the application. But as we are doing right now, if there is someone with expertise and mining background, assess the question, so it give like a verification of the compliance, for example, with the craft code. So what you see is, because in order self-reporting, it's because someone went to visit the mining sites, went to interview the miners, make observation, and write down the findings in the app. And that's why you see the results. So it's like a way to say a monitor or a verification with the craft code, for instance. And it's something that in ours with that.
Natalia, there is one more.
Okay, we still have time.
Yeah, how often the data is outdated?
In our normal procedure, we update the data annually, but in some cases we update it with more frequency, each 6 months, for instance. It depends also according to the needs, sometimes of the timeline of the projects, for instance. But as we have designed the ASM Progress App, is that you can make like constant assessment, at least annual assessments in the app. Okay, I think there are no more open questions. So now I can close the webinar, and thank you so much for all the participants who attend the webinar, and thank you so much for your valuable questions, are very important for us, and hopefully you can also give your feedback using the survey. Thank you so much and have a good day.